Jerry, when you look at the Virginia defense, did you get a chance to watch them play against Pitt and, some of the damage that Pitt running backs did against them?
I haven't took a look at that game. I think the game that we looked at was our game that we played for the last 2 years and Liberty, just to see the schemes and the personnel and everything.
But I imagine you heard, that they racked up some pretty good yards. Is that something you feel you can accomplish too?
Whatever I can do to help the team, but if I could, it would be nice. So, yeah.
What was it like? You had some open space for the first time in a while on some of the triple plays and some of the reads with the B-back. I imagine that was good because you guys have been grinding so hard the last couple of weeks just to get any kind of yardage.
Oh, yeah. If I can get an open space, it's always great because that's when I get to show speed or agility and everything like that. So I aim for open field all the time.
And I think you got the key last first down, right?
Well, I wouldn't call mine the key last first down. I call it Jalen Kemp's catch. Yeah, that's what really did it.
But I imagine, what was the feeling? You guys went out there and knew you had to kill the clock and
it was great when I seen Jalen catch the ball. Then I got a chance to get the first down, and it was 6 minutes went quick after that. So it was pretty nice.
How do y'all think y'all were able? I was asking Brad this. Stay together and kind of keep a faith that y'all could turn this around. When you're 1-3, and then even after the Duke loss, it looked pretty grim to get back to this position.
Yeah, it was a tough time because we had to deal with social media and the fans and stuff. But we all stayed together as one and got everybody else motivated, and we just started turning things around. And we just kept listening to Coach Johnson, and he said, "We can do this, we can do that still." So it's nice to know that we got a winning record right now, and we're trying to keep it.
Saturday is senior day. Does that give you a little extra motivation to get the win for the seniors?
Yeah, we really want to win for the seniors because it's the last time playing in Bobby Dodd. So we're gonna come out with it the same way we came out against Miami and other teams, but we're gonna try really hard.
Does it excite you seeing there's a lot of talent in your position group and quarterback, and the offense is starting to roll, and you can see guys like Tobias and yourself and Jordan that are going to kind of be the future keys of this offense? Is it kind of exciting to see what you guys are able to accomplish now, just as mostly second-year players?
Yeah, it's pretty great to see that, to know that we all can play, but we're all just worried about finishing the rest of this year. Then we're gonna go through the off season and then the spring, and that's when we really know and make sure that we all can play. So, but to know that Tobias, JP, myself, Cravante, and Lucas Johnson that will be back is pretty great.
You were in camp the third guy, and you're starting now a lot of the games and playing. You guys are playing fairly equal snaps, but you're playing a lot. Is it kind of been nice to kind of make that move, and it says a lot about, I guess, your resiliency as a person to kind of get yourself in that position too?
Yeah, I just go out and compete as hard as I can, and JP does the same. So, I mean, whoever Coach feels is having better practice that week, that's who he'll start. But we just compete every day. And I know when Cravante comes back, he'll compete just as hard as us, if not harder. So.
Do you feel like that competition between you and JP and having that constant, fight every week has made you guys better?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. And that also built our relationship stronger, too. So.
Anything else for Jerry? All right.
Thanks, Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
How's your emotions right now?
I mean, Saturday it was on a high. I mean, it was awesome. But it's a new week, new game. We got to 6. We got to a bowl game. But now we have to make it better, and we have to get to 7. And I want to go out as best I can as a senior. So I just want to keep winning.
Have you thought about what it'll be like when you go down to do the field and the ceremony and all that stuff?
No. I'm not thinking about that. I'm gonna let it wait until it happens. I don't even know what's gonna go on. Just not trying to think about it. Just focus on the game plan.
Coach talked about being able to put the emotion of the ceremony behind you and get out there and play right afterward. I guess that's going to be
Yeah.
Something you're gonna have to deal with?
Yeah, I think it'll hit me more after the game, just knowing that, you know, it would be the last time playing in Bobby Dodd. But you know, I think when game time comes, I think we'll all be ready. I mean, we've done it so many times at this point. We know how to get ready and be able to play.
You guys have had that pressure of trying to claw back to 6 and to a bowl situation. How do you guys protect, now that you're there, how do you guys protect against the complacency or whatever?
Yeah. So yeah, that's big. I feel like a lot of teams experience it where they achieve some goal of theirs and then it kind of come complacent and kind of slack off. But I think we addressed that in the team meeting and as a senior class to all the guys that look, we're happy about 6 and you know it's cool. We're gonna go to a bowl game and that was one of our goals. But you know at the end of the day, we're hungry and we're gonna get more and we want more.
Is that a message that the coaches gave to you at all, or do they know that you guys know that and just kind of trust the
I mean, yeah. I mean, Coach Johnson knew that. He just, you know, he wanted to address it like, yeah, congrats on getting to the 6th win for a bowl game, but, you know, it's not done. We have two games the rest of the season to really get us in a better position to get to a better bowl.
Have you taken a look at?
Go ahead, Ryan.
Have you taken a look at their secondary? Pretty stout secondary. They got one of their corners that leads the nation, I think, in pass breakups and strong safety. Likes to come up in the box and leads the team in tackles.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna treat them like any other team. I mean, they might have a good secondary. It's good for them, but you know we're gonna have a game plan and we're gonna practice it, and we're gonna go out there and execute it. And you know they're just like me. They're a Division I athlete on the other side of the ball, so
Right.
see how it goes.
How do y'all think y'all are able to kind of stick together when you're 1-3 and then even after that Duke loss and with some of the games coming up? I mean, a lot of people are already saying, "Well, this could be another
Yeah.
season," and you know, getting bold. Just
Yes, sir.
you know, how do y'all think y'all were able to stick together and kind of turn things around?
I really have to give that to our senior class. You know the coaches. You know they're gonna tell us. You know they're gonna motivate us every day in their type of way, but it really has to come from the players. It has to be player driven, and I feel like this senior class has been a special experience because of that struggle early on, that 1-3 where everyone's like, we're, you know, Georgia Tech's not looking too good right now, and you know we just blocked all that out and said, look, we have one game next week and we have to go 1-0, and then after that game we have to go 1-0, and so on and so forth. So we're looking forward to this week. Like I said, we're focused on being 1-0 this week. So
Is it easier playing a team that you owe something to? You guys lost a game that you led by 2
Yeah.
scores in the second half last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, I think we definitely owe them one. You know, they're a good team, and I'm going to give them credit where credit's due. And we just have to go out and play our game. I mean, you've seen games this year where we've played good and we've turned the ball over and hurt ourselves. So we just have to get focused on the game plan and execute because Coach Johnson is going to lead us in the right direction.
You were a little speechless the other night about having that opportunity with a big catch, touchdown, under the lights, you know, all that kind of stuff. After a few days, you know, what kind of went through your head about that opportunity for you?
Yeah. So I think Sunday it was like I woke up and I was like, wow, okay, that really did happen. You know, because it was like y'all saw me Saturday. It was just such a great feeling and a blessing to experience it with these guys I've been with for 4 years, and with the coaches that I've been with for 4 years. So, but I mean, I was joking with people the other day. I mean, I had a test Monday, so I was focused on that Sunday night and Monday morning. So I kind of had to throw that out the way. But yeah, so now we're just focused on school in Virginia.
Did you hear from any friends or family after they could text you?
Yeah, I mean, I always hear from my friends and family. You know, they stick by me and are always with me. So I think people who text me regularly usually same.
You kind of talked after the game about how wide receivers, y'all don't necessarily get the glory and y'all don't get the things that maybe, other people do in this offense specifically. But what can you say about the way that this group of receivers has consistently worked throughout the year? And I guess just why y'all keep pushing and keep working even though you're not getting the numbers.
Yeah. So I think it always is a topic of discussion is, how is it being a receiver in the triple option? I feel like that's a common topic, but, just from my experience and, how I've grown up always, and I haven't looked at myself based on my personal success. I've always looked at my success based on my team and who I've been around and, the final result of how that team did that year. That's kind of how I address my success. So I think in saying that, I think an individual performance is great and all, but, at the end of the day, if you have a good individual performance and lose, I mean, what does that mean? So I think being a receiver in this offense really just humbles you as a person and really makes you, get back to the day one details. Okay, if I want to be in that situation where Coach Johnson trusts me to make a big play, then I have to show him I can do the little things. I have to show him I can block on the perimeter. I have to show him I can go in and crack. I have to show him I know the plays, no missed assignments, no missed blocks. So I think that was from freshman year to now. That was a huge learning curve for me. Coming in that freshman year and really experiencing it and really getting down and dirty early within camp and really getting to know the offense. So.
What do you think is your favorite memory from your career playing at Bobby Dodd?
So at Bobby Dodd, I would say the Florida State moment, my freshman year, on that fourth down. Not because it was it was an awesome game when we won, but it was kind of like, I had made a couple catches before that, but that was like the first big time play I've made since high school, and it was a great feeling to be a part of that and then end up getting a part of that victory and, going down in history with Bobby Dodd, Miracle, and Techwood. So, yeah, I would say one of my first memories that I always remember would be that freshman year moment. Yeah.
I think you're good, man. We're good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Last but not least, junior A-back, Nathan Cottrell. Open up for questions for Nathan.
What was the film like when you went back to watch Miami game?
I saw a lot of things that I did pretty bad. As far as me personally, definitely need to work on blocking this week. Didn't do too well in that area. So, it's a pretty rough film to watch for me. But as a whole, I felt like it went pretty well for everybody. So.
Does the speed and athleticism of linebackers seem like a little problematic?
Those dudes could move fast. It was incredible, especially when we were watching on film. We knew they were fast. You watch them on film going sideline, they were everywhere. It was that was impressive. They were good, not going to lie.
Virginia still has a lot of motivation, has a chance to, if things go right, win the Coastal. So I imagine you guys really have to be prepared and come out and be ready from the get-go.
Oh, for sure, and that's something we've been harping on this week. We got bowl eligible, that's what we wanted, but we're really just trying to focus on, there's still a lot to play for. Getting that 7th win, that helps us out in the bowl area as well. So, we've got a lot of motivation for this game as well. We owe them from last year. We played pretty poorly up there last year, so hopefully we can come out this week and really handle business.
You're in a group where you have 2 great seniors in your position group in Quay and Clinton. How important is it to try and finish strong for those guys and the other guys in the senior class?
Oh, it's huge. Me being redshirted, that's the class I came in with was Brad and all them, and then Quay and Clint, just playing with them the whole time I've been here. Of course, want to send them out on the highest note possible as the last game of Bobby Dodd. That's huge for me personally, for sure. And then just really trying to take advantage of that last game at home with them and just trying to have a lot of fun with it. And, of course, winning makes everything better. So that'd be huge to do for them and send them out on a high note.
Do you worry at all about complacency coming off an emotional win like Miami and getting the bowl eligibility? Is that a little concern?
Like I was saying, we were excited for the bowl win, and then Coach even said right after that game, yeah, we were bowl eligible, but there's still a lot to play for, and just really making sure everybody's focusing on that this week and just realizing, like I've been saying, there's still a lot left to play. There's 2 games left, and getting both those wins would be huge for our season. Obviously, Virginia's a big win, and obviously, the next one, who we don't really speak about, is a huge win too. So, just personally, but yeah. So I'm excited for the rest of the season. We've got 2 games left for sure, and then the bowl, whichever one we end up at. But obviously, want to keep winning so we can get into a better bowl.
You got 2 seniors that you've played with. What can you tell us about, your experience playing with them?
I've just really learned a lot from both of them. I know whenever I was first starting out here, they just helped me a lot learning the plays and just really kind of figuring out how this whole thing works in Division I football, because you come in from high school and you're wide-eyed from the start, and then you meet all your other freshman classmates, and then you get in with the older guys and you really kind of just see what it's like. And they've kind of taken me under their wings since I started here. So, it's just, I don't know, really being able to learn from them and seeing how they've handled certain situations. And then when they've made big plays, how they respond. When they've done things that they should have done better, how they respond to that. Just really learning from how they handle themselves and how they keep their composure. It's been a huge, learning curve for me.
Has it dawned on you in about 2 months you'll be the old guy?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just trying to imagine myself in all the scene, like my really good friends' shoes. Like this is their last home game. It's a year away. It's crazy, but not to think too far ahead, obviously. But obviously, it's something in the back of my head. I've got 2 games in a year left. It's a lot to take in.
Cold world out there.
That's what I've heard. That's right.
Anything else?
What do you see when you look at the Virginia defense?
They're a physical bunch. They can fight to the ball. They got some guys that can run on the back end. So it'll be exciting.
Do you look at Thornhill, the strong safety, likes to come up in the box and challenge?
Which number is he? I haven't really looked. I haven't really looked at the personnel like that too much. Just more about like what their defense does. So I haven't really looked at personnel too much right now. So I'll look at that later on in the week.
Have you thought about your emotions for Saturday and going through the senior day stuff and kind of trying to keep, push that aside once the game starts?
I hadn't really thought about it too much, but I know it'll be a little bit emotional just because it's my last one. I actually went to one of my friends. She plays volleyball here, one of my best friends here, and just seeing how emotional she was for the last game here at Georgia Tech, a home game. So I'm pretty sure it'll be emotional for me just knowing it's your last one here and just how much time you've spent here, how much time you've spent in the program, how much work you've put in, and just how quick it flies by. But it'll be a good one.
I imagine when you get hit the first time, that kind of probably pushes out of your mind.
Oh, yeah, all that'll be gone. Be worried about the game. So
I asked Brad about, the last month or so has been occupied by trying to claw back and get into, bowl eligibility. Now that that's behind you guys, how do you guys kind of avoid that letdown or that complacency of not having that main goal right there in front of you anymore?
We know if we win the next one, we get in a better bowl game. So I think that's the motivation right now. And we're on a pretty hot streak, so I don't think we want to lose at this point. So I just think having that mindset and just knowing how hard it took us to fight back, there's no need to take any steps backwards.
How much did it help having basically 2 weeks off to heal up some more on top of having had that bye week and everything?
It's good on my body. I'm still a little beat up, but that's how it is when you're this late in the season. But I feel pretty good. So it was nice having a couple weeks, extra weeks to rest up.
Do you feel like that made a difference kind of when you played on Saturday?
Yeah, a little bit. I think so.
Is there a sense of normalcy at all after, having the past couple of weeks where, you were out and then you only played a few series and then last week you got the full game, you don't have to deal with the questions of is it you or Tobias or whatever. Is there a sense of normalcy this week for you at all?
It's about the same. It was the same last week, going into North Carolina, or the week before that when we went into North Carolina. It's the same this week. We both still take reps, so it's not any different.
Coach was talking earlier today about the offensive line and the progression and finding the right combinations and everything for the line itself. For you, seeing what they've done and progressed this whole season, what can you say about what they've been able to do?
I think they have a really good bond up front. They motivate each other really well. I think when it comes time to play, they play really well together, and they're always going to work hard. They're going to give that extra push, go the extra mile, give 110% effort. So I think throughout the season that's progressed. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. I think they have all season. So it's always good to have those guys in front of you just being able to kind of lead the way.
Does it help, some of those guys play with an attitude?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think everyone has a different style of play, and I think most of those guys up there play with a different attitude when it comes to football. So I think that kind of gives them the drive and the motivation to work harder.
Do you feel like after what happened last year at Virginia, there's a lot of internal motivation as well, the way that game kind of slipped away from you guys?
I mean, for me personally, not really. It's another home game, so that'll be exciting. But we're just trying to execute the game plan and make as few mistakes as we can and keep the ball off the ground. And I think everything else will take care of itself.
Brad was saying he thought the seniors have kind of played a key role in kind of making sure this team didn't fall apart. That you can listen to the coaches, but maybe it was more you guys sort of talking to the guys and saying we still got hope here. You remember sort of some of those conversations? How did y'all make sure guys didn't sort of mail it in on the season when you're 1-3 or even after the loss to Duke?
You just got to let them know that there's still a lot of games to play, that the season's a marathon, it's not a sprint. I mean, I personally let them know, like, hey, we've been here before. Like, we've been down and had to claw ourselves back. And my sophomore year it was the complete opposite. We started off 3-0, then we went to 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. So, I mean, either way it goes, you still have to just remember that it's a long season and that there's still a lot out there. And that's kind of what we harped on. And now that they see that we got the 6 and we clawed ourselves back into a good position, that we weren't just telling them just to tell them.
What's your favorite memory of playing in Bobby Bell?
The Florida State game by far was just I mean, it's one of those that it's one of those that you're at home and you see on TV and you're like, dang, that'd be pretty cool to be like a part of that environment. And then you're a part of that environment and you're like, wow, this is the craziest thing I've ever witnessed. And I mean, I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it now. Like, we blocked a kick and he picked it up. Everybody was telling him to get away. And next thing you know, I'm on the sideline, he's running past me, and I'm like, oh, we got to change the score. And then he scores, and everybody storms the field. I mean, it was crazy.
It's rare. We don't talk a whole lot in here about the wide receivers, but Jalen had a big catch the other night. Brad had a big catch. What can you say about the job that they did last week, that they've done the whole time, and how fun was it for you to kind of see them get their time in the spotlight there?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, those guys are constantly blocking. I mean, they block their butts off on the perimeter for all of us guys that carry the ball almost every other play. So I think it's always awesome to be able to reward them by throwing the ball. And this past weekend, Brad we talked about the route today because he ran it again in practice, and I told him how much I loved it when he runs that route. And he got a touchdown catch, and then Jalen early in the game, I got him the ball, and then late in the game, I mean, he made a huge play. Between him and Jerry, those are probably the 2 biggest plays of the game. So it's just awesome being able to see those guys succeed. And I think it's like that for everyone. We all want to see each other succeed. So when it happens, I mean, you see how everybody's celebrating and how excited everyone is when other people are doing well. And I think that's a big part of why we are successful and why everybody has so much fun playing with each other.
What does it take to have that trust? When you're only throwing it 5-6 times a game, to have that trust in each other to come up in those situations, even though you're not throwing it as much.
Yeah, we practice it all the time, so we just try to translate it into the game, and I just try to put the ball in the space where I know they're going to catch it, and I trust in them and believe that they're going to catch it, and that's kind of what happened on this past Saturday.
You said you saw a lot of green. How confident were you that if you would have pulled it down, you could have scored?
Looking back at it on film, I don't know, because the linebacker was flying from the he was flying. Maybe I could have made a miss, but
So you made the right decision.
yeah, definitely made the right decision.
Coach talked a little bit about how Miami was kind of faking, taking the dive at times and stuff. And how hard is that, especially when you haven't played as much in a couple weeks, to when you have that level of athlete doing something like that? That's got to be difficult for you to read as a quarterback.
Yeah, it's tough and it's frustrating at the same time because I know I've made the reads before, but it's I don't know. It's like ever since what was it, UNC, when I missed a couple reads, it's like those teams looked at that film and they're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And sometimes it's like an educated guess when you're making the read, honestly. But it's tough. I mean, even the guys on the sideline are like, man, I don't know how you do it. He's like, those reads even the B-backs are like, dude, I don't even know what they're doing. I'm like, but I mean, it's tough. It's something that you got to do. So I've just been trying to work on it each and every day at practice just to kind of get a better feel of, what they're doing when they're doing it. So it's just something I'm still progressing on each and every week.